Now then, this morning, we're going to do a little bit of an experiment this morning. But before we start, I want to ask everybody a question. Who likes going to parties? Cool. Tell me something that you take to a party.
Cake.
Cake, okay.
Cheese.
Cheese strings. Just
What?
look at that.
Cheese string, right, okay. So you take food. What else? Can anybody else? What else do you take to a party? Presents, right, okay, presents. Well, do you know what? Jesus went to a party. And I want to ask you something now. Another question for you. What are different types of parties do you go to? Birthdays, yeah.
1,000 people.
Anniversaries.
Anniversaries, yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, right, okay.
Weddings.
Weddings, right, okay. So, we're looking at this morning at a party that Jesus went to. And Jesus went to a party, and do you know what? They had plenty of food. They did have drinks. Now then, another thing. What type of drinks do you like at parties? If I said to the children, do you like water? You can either thumbs down or thumbs up. Do you like water at parties? Everybody can join it. Right. Do you like juice at parties? Do you like fizzy pop at parties? So plenty of sugary drinks. Well, at this party that Jesus went to, and we're looking at this morning, it's in John chapter 2, they ran out of drink. They ran out of drink at the parties. So this morning, I hope if you want to join in, we are going to do a little experiment. And that's why I've got a couple of glasses in front of me. And I don't know if this is going to work or not. I've been told it might do. So, as I say, we've got some water. Now then, Jesus told the people at this wedding, the servants that were serving, to go and fill some jars with water so they could drink. Now, the servants used their gifts, and their gifts were that they were there to serve. Now then, each one of us is called to serve. Each one of us is called to serve each other and to serve God. And in that, he wants us to use our gifts, the gifts that he's given us. Now, at this time, they just saw the water in the glass. Now then, we said we weren't too keen on water. So they then went and poured, and they filled a lot of jars with water. So this one I'm filling up. Now then, if you got the experiment with me this morning, I'm going to choose. Now I haven't got anything. I'm going to pour some of this in. Now, what happens to this when Jesus... Can anybody see what colour that's going? Well, that's not what they wanted to drink at this wedding. It's gone yellow. Oh. You know, that could be some of the juice. That could be some of the goodness. And this is drinkable. So you can turn into your water something that turns it a different colour. Let's see what colours we get. Now, I think Mary's doing it with the boys. Esther's joining in. She looks like she's got something that's turned it a little bit cloudy. But, you know, Jesus told them to go and pour water. And to go and take it to the head of the wedding and to tell him to taste it. Because, you know, when people pour you drinks in a restaurant, sometimes they'll ask you to taste them before you take hold of the rest of it. And that's what this Jesus was doing at this wedding. He was just starting out. And his mother had told the servants, look, whatever Jesus says, do. But Jesus has said to them, to his mother, it wasn't time for him to start using his gifts. Now then, this can be for the adults as well. How many times have people explained to us that we ought to start using our gifts or to rekindle those gifts that we've got? You know, Jesus was just growing up. He was getting bigger. And his mother knew, his father knew who he was. And she said to the servants, just listen. If he says it, do it. And you know, when the servants did what Jesus said, they took the water to the master. And when they poured it out and gave it to him, at this wedding, they had wine. And they gave him a real dark drink that was of wine colour. And when he sipped it, I'm not going to sip this because I don't know what food colouring really tastes like when it's in water. And I've used food colouring for this one. But, you know, when he tasted it, he had never tasted anything so good at the wedding. And he'd said, you know, normally at parties, you serve the good stuff first. And as the party goes on, you bring out the lesser drink and food because people's taste buds have already got the good stuff inside. But Jesus brings out the best. He brings it out just at the right time. It may have been towards the end of that wedding banquet, but you know what? He brought out the best gifts. And you know, this morning, God wants to bring into you the best gifts. So, who likes drinking juice? We all said yes. A lot said yes. A lot said yes to the sugary drinks. A lot said yes. But Jesus wants us to enjoy the drink of him in our lives, pouring into us that we may share. You know, people went home from that wedding having had a great time. They'd witnessed a wedding. They'd witnessed the marriage. But you know what? They'd also witnessed a miracle of Jesus. And you know, this morning, he wants us to witness a miracle of Jesus in our lives. And see it in other people's lives, the miracles that God does in them. And he wants us to use those gifts that he's given. So this morning, remember, Jesus turned water into wine at a party. But you know what? The best party that he's got, he's waiting for each one that accepts him. And that's the party in heaven that he wants you to be part of. He wants you to partake of, but he wants you to have a taste of it on earth. And that's when you accept him, when you do what he says, and you use the gifts that he's got. Well, this morning, use those gifts. Be encouraged to use what God has given you.